Welcome to OMeranger004, and today we will explore the comic book origins of Batgirl. But before we start, please join me on Patreon by OMeranger004. Your small donation helps run the channel. With that out of the way, let's begin. Batgirl is the name of several fictional superheroines appearing in American comic books published by DC Comics, depicted as female counterparts to the superhero Batman. Although the character Betty Kane was introduced into publication in 1961 by Bill Finger and Sheldon Moldoff as Batgirl, she was replaced by Barbara Gordon in 1967, who later came to be identified as the iconic Batgirl. Citation needed. The character debuted in Detective Comics number 359, January 1967, by writer Gardner Fox and artist Carmen Infantino, introduced as the daughter of Police Commissioner James Gordon. Batgirl operates in Gotham City, allying herself with Batman and the original Robin, Dick Grayson, along with other masked vigilantes. The character appeared regularly in Detective Comics, Batman Family, and several other books produced by DC until 1988. That year, Barbara Gordon appeared in Barbara Kessel's Batgirl Special No. 1, in which she retires from crime fighting. She subsequently appeared in Alan Moore's graphic novel Batman: The Killing Joke, where, in her civilian identity, she is shot by the Joker and left paraplegic. Although she is reimagined as the computer expert and information broker Oracle by editor Kim Yale and writer John Ostrander the following year, her paralysis sparked debate about the portrayal of women in comics, particularly violence depicted toward female characters. In the 1999 storyline, No Man's Land, the character Helena Bertinelli, known as Huntress, briefly assumes the role of Batgirl until she is stripped of the identity by Batman for violating his stringent codes. Within the same storyline, the character Cassandra Kane is introduced. Kane is written as the daughter of assassins David Kane and Lady Shiva and takes the mantle of Batgirl under the guidance of Batman and Oracle. In 2000, she became the first Batgirl to star in an eponymous monthly comic book series, in addition to becoming one of the most prominent characters of Asian descent to appear in American comics. The series was cancelled in 2006, at which point during the company-wide storyline, 1 year later, she is established as a villain and head of the League of Assassins. After receiving harsh feedback from readership, she is later restored to her original conception. However, the character Stephanie Brown, originally known as Spoiler and later Robin, succeeds her as Batgirl after Cassandra Kane abandons the role. Stephanie Brown became the featured character of the Batgirl series from 2009 to 2011, prior to DC's The New 52 relaunch, which established Barbara Gordon recovering from her paralysis following a surgical procedure and starring as the title character of Batgirl once again. Barbara later returned to the Oracle role with Infinite Frontier in 2020, and currently operates as both Batgirl and Oracle, with Cassandra and Stephanie also serving as Batgirls. The Barbara Gordon version of Batgirl has been adapted into various media relating to the Batman franchise, including television, film, animation, video games, and other merchandise. Dan Didio, co-publisher of DC Comics, expressed that Barbara is the best-known version of the character. Batgirl has officially been represented by 4 different characters, and 2 claimants, beginning with her introduction in 1961. Betty Kane. During the Golden Age, a female character was introduced as a love interest for Robin. Betty Kane as Batgirl was depicted as the niece of, and Robin-like sidekick to, the original Batwoman. In 1964, however, editor Julius Schwartz asserted that Batgirl and other characters in the Bat family should be removed considering the decline in sales and restored the Batman mythology to its original conception of heroic vigilantism. During the Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline, Betty Kane was retconned out of existence. Mary Elizabeth. Betty Kane is a reinvented version of the Betty Kane character during the Golden Age. As her original characterization was retconned out of existence during the Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline, a discrepancy arose where her Batgirl character had joined the West Coast version of the Teen Titans, but simply disappeared. The character was reintroduced as Betty Kane in the alias of Flamebird. Following Infinite Crisis, the character's past as Batgirl was hinted at as being a part of continuity. However, that reference included a revamped origin of the character, and it may or may not have been the current Betty Kane. Barbara Gordon and Cassandra Kane as Batgirl, art by Matt Haley and David Hahn. During the run of the Batman television series, DC editorial was approached about adding a female character back into the Batman family. Revising the character history and motivation, Julius Schwartz created Barbara Gordon. This character held the role of Batgirl from 1967 to 1988 when she was retired by DC editorial decision. The character's role was changed to a paraplegic source of information for all members of the Batman family and codenamed the Oracle. She was later restored as Batgirl during the New 52 relaunch of the entire DC publication line in 2011. This was also the case with the DC Rebirth 2016. After the suicide of her psychopathic brother James Gordon Jr., Barbara ponders her role as Batgirl, becomes Oracle, and continues to support the Batman family behind the computer screen, with the option to occasionally return to the role of Batgirl. Above all, she takes on the role of mentor for Cassandra Kane and Stephanie Brown, who now share the title of Batgirl. Cassandra Kane. During the No Man's Land storyline, Cassandra Kane was given the role of Batgirl under the guidance of Batman and Oracle. Written as the daughter of assassins David Kane and Lady Shiva, she is trained from early childhood to read human body language instead of developing verbal and written communication skills as part of her father's conditioning to mold her into the world's deadliest assassin. However, after committing her first murder, she vows to never again use her martial arts prowess to kill. In 2000, she became the first Batgirl to star in an eponymous monthly comic book series, as well as one of the most prominent characters of Asian descent to appear in American comics. The series was cancelled in 2006 and Cassandra Kane abandoned the role of Batgirl shortly thereafter. Years later, Cassandra rejoined the Batman family under the moniker the Black Bat. In the New 52, Cassandra reappeared in the comic series Batman and Robin Eternal with a slightly different history. Here she is also the murderer of Harper Rowe's mother, an ally of Batman. She called herself Orphan for a while and became part of the Batman family as well as the Outsiders. She later shares the name Batgirl with her friend Stephanie Brown. Stephanie Brown was formerly known as the Spoiler and then as the first in continuity female Robin until her apparent death in 2006. Following her return to comics in 2009, she assumed the role of Batgirl. She maintained this position until 2011, the relaunch of the DC imprint under the New 52. The character reappeared in the DCU in Batman Volume 3, Number 28, as the Spoiler. Stephanie reappears in the series Batman Eternal, where she again goes by Spoiler in an attempt to thwart her father's machinations. After DC Rebirth, she joined Batman's new team of vigilantes where she became the girlfriend of Tim Drake aka Red Robin before they break up. Eventually she shares the title Batgirl with her friend Cassandra Kane. Helena Bertinelli for a brief time during 1999's No Man's Land storyline, Helena Bertinelli assumed the mantle of Batgirl. After violating Batman's code against extreme violence, she was stripped of the mantle and returned to her alias of the Huntress. Charlotte. Charlie. Gage Radcliffe. After Cassandra Kane abandoned the role, a mystery character appeared as the new Batgirl in the Birds of Prey comic. Possessing superpowers, the team claimed the empty mantle in an attempt to honor the character. However, Barbara Gordon quickly dissuaded the team from continuing in the role. Charlie Gage Radcliffe acquiesced, but modified her costume and changed her name to the Misfit. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more videos about your favorite comics, movies are coming soon. Join me on Patreon by Omaranger004. Your small donation helps run the channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.